Hi, my name is Jürgen Melis. I'm the head of the business unit Data Manager Products. We are here today to tell you about IDP, what it is and for whom it is. 25 years ago, a great idea was born, TechDoc. TechDoc was an idea to bring catalog data, paper catalog data into an electronic catalog. So we started with one CD, which was quarterly updated. After some years, people have seen, oh, that's a great idea. We want to distribute also our data through TechDoc. So the number of brands increased and increased, and we had 3 CDs, 5 CDs, 10 CDs, and in the end, someone was a disc jockey to install a catalog. So we changed to a DVD, but it was still quarterly updated. And the market was asking for more data, for more updates. And we changed the update period to a monthly update. And I think 2 years ago, we changed to a weekly update. But it's still for some players in the market, especially in the Asian markets, not understandable that we update just once a week. And they are looking for real-time data because they are used to. In their daily life, they use the internet in real time. Everything is updated there in real time. And we were thinking about what can we do in Tech Alliance to improve the way of data delivery. And I'm here today with Camille, our product owner for our new solution, IDP. But Camille, tell us something about you.
Sure, Jürgen, thanks. So my name is Camille Kommer. I'm working for 8 years for the company right now, mainly in the field of gathering customer requirements. So I've been talking to a lot of product managers in the past, but almost on a daily basis. And basically, this is also the main reason that I became part of the team. So I am one of the product owners of IDP. And I know more or less what you are challenging every day, and hopefully I can spread the word within our company.
Tech Alliance is great in acronyms, yeah, like what is IDP? And I think our customers are curious to understand what is IDP and for what does it stand for.
Yeah, indeed. IDP is an abbreviation. So IDP means instant data processing. It will be a game changer in the market, Jürgen. So customers will be able to real-time supply and receive data.
Mm-hmm. Okay, tell us something more. How does it work for a data supplier, for a parts manufacturer?
IDP is an API. And the API allows you to get a direct connection to our TechDoc data center. And so from then on, you will be able to validate and distribute your data instantly, so in real time. So basically, you need to use either one of our data management solutions, the DMM or CCU, or if you are using a third-party solution, you can get access to our API, and from then on, you can supply it directly to us.
Mm-hmm. To repeat, and I think also for our customers, so I understand right, in DMM, IDP is embedded.
Yeah,
in
correct.
CCU, IDP is embedded.
Yeah.
And we have IDP as a standalone solution for customers who have their own developed solutions.
Definitely, and I think there is a huge benefit because currently, if you're using a third-party system, you have every month a time-consuming process of exporting data and from then on importing the data into the DMM. And it's very labor-intensive, but from now on, from the IDP time on, you are able to do that instantly, so without any intervention of our DMM tool.
Yeah, indeed. And even worse, not every month, every week. Yeah. Depends on how the customer is updating his data.
Exactly.
What requirements the customer has to meet to use IDP?
So as I already said, so you need to use either one of our data management tools, the CCU or the DMM, or you need to subscribe to our API. So then there will be a short project which we will set up together with you as a customer. And from then on, you will be connected to our data center.
Okay, to summary. I'm using DMM or CCU, one of our DMM, our PIM solutions. And I do my product management updates, my application updates. I press the save button, and the data is sent instantly to TechTalk. For customers who are using their self-developed solution, we have a solution which is embedded to their system.
Exactly.
And they send the data also straight away directly to the TechTalk platform.
Yeah.
But do they send all data or just the changes?
You can send only the changes if you want. So this is also, of course, a huge difference compared to today's situation. So from now on, you will be able to send just the deltas. And so that could be either new parts which you would like to publish, but it could be also the data corrections that you made in a certain period.
Yeah, additions, corrections. Yeah.
All kinds of data content.
Yeah, right. So it's a huge difference compared to how the data today is distributed. Today we send gigabytes of data into the TechTalk world. Yeah. And tomorrow with IDP, we just send the net changes. Is that correct?
Yeah. And you're also able to validate it directly. Yeah? So in the current process, you always need to export the complete data in TAF files in the TechTalk format. And then validate everything. Then you get a report back. But now you can say, okay, I would like to publish this part, but validate it. Is it in line with the TechTalk data convention?
So instead of validating all my data all the time again and again and again, I just update one line of data, just this one article or application line.
Yeah, indeed, correct.
Yeah, that's great. So explain a little bit more about how it differs to the data delivery compared to today.
Yeah. In the current situation, if you look at the process of a product management department at the customer side, it's a kind of cycle. So every 10th of the month, the data needs to be sent to us, to TechTalk. But from now on, then you will be able to do it every day, at any time if you want. And basically, also, you don't have to send the full packages anymore. So you can send just the incrementals if you like to do that. So that's, of course, super.
But is IDP replacing any solution within our infrastructure?
Yeah, we know that a big portion of customers are using our DMM tool, for example, for only validating and distributing the data packages. So this is a group of customers who are using a third-party system. So they always have to rely on the DMM in that case. But from now on, you can skip that part of the process and do it instantly. So that saves a lot of time, of course, and also resources.
Let's focus on this customer group who are not using DMM and CCU in their daily business. I think there's a kind of a project to embed the tool in their infrastructure. How does this work? How can we support our customer in doing this?
Of course, yeah, we have all the expertise in-house to do that. So our expectation is that it will take approximately a few working days to get you connected and live to our IDP system. And then you're also directly connected to our data center. And of course, we also have all the documentation available that will explain how things will work out.
So we take care about the embedding, the implementation.
Exactly. Yeah.
Good. Perfect. So we was now looking after the parts manufacturers in the last couple of minutes, but I'm sure there will be a bigger change for the worldwide aftermarket in having this tool in place. Yeah. What do you think? What will be changed, and for whom?
Yeah, in the end, you're gonna send data content via IDP, and it's not that you have to send to export data in a certain format. We are not talking about the TechTalk format, about the TAF files, but it could be also the MEM format or the ACES format. So IDP will be an interface where you're going to send data content and not a certain format. So you can focus on your daily job, and that's manufacturing parts and getting the content right, getting the most accurate data in the market, being the first to market, and IDP will take care of distributing the data.
So I think it's important to say IDP is not replacing a standard, not at all, but we are in the position to use IDP to transport the content from the individual standards to the TechDoc ecosystem.
Yeah, and it will be also, it's more a kind of a streaming environment.
Okay.
So it's a direct connection. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds very good, but I'm sure there are challenges. Challenges from perspective, from the customer perspective, and from TechAlliance perspective. What do you see?
For both sides, it's more or less the same story. So we are used to a certain process, a kind of offline process, and now we go to an online process where everything goes instantly and directly. So from a development point of view, you have to review current protocols. And of course, we also have all the expertise in-house, but it's definitely a challenge. So you will be able to send also thousands of pictures, let's say instantly, and data updates doing instantly. And it's not only from an infrastructure point of view, but also from a process point of view, is that also your company needs to get adapted to this new live process.
So we adapted our business unit data manager to the processes of our customers. So we take in the focus the daily business process of a product manager, of a catalog manager, of a data manager. And there will be a change for sure. A change for sure in their daily working. Because before they had the daily processes and they was not looking after updating data. What is changing in particular?
As soon as you have a product on the shelf, you're able to publish it. So as soon as there is a new car on the market and you would like to have the latest brake pad communicated to the market, you can do that as soon as possible. So that's a huge benefit. But that means also that if you're sitting here on the couch in Cologne, you can click on a button and send your parts and publish your parts in, for example, China or in the US instantly. So that's
yeah, you used a nice word. There is a new car on the road, and this new car, TechAlliance, is communicating month by month through our reference data sets. What can you imagine what we can do to improve the delivery of the new reference data through IDP?
Yeah, we're going to learn from this process, and we're going to use this process and this API and interface for several other products and services we have. So we can support our product managers or your product managers with, for example, sending them the latest available VICA reference data or OE information. So as soon as there is a super session communicated by the OE parts manufacturers, we will make sure that you will get this information as soon as possible. The same for VIO data or, for example, for the vehicle information itself.
So IDP is more or less in the middle of the whole process in future, where we exchange data, not only the catalog data, also the reference data, VIO data, OE data. So that's really a huge change in terms of faster communication to the market.
Exactly.
What can you imagine how the market will benefit on a long-term perspective with using IDP?
Of course, you will save a lot of resources. That's, I think, one of the things. So currently, what I said, you are bound by a kind of cycle, which costs you a lot of time. So you will save a lot of resources, but you will also get a lot of more sales opportunities. So you as a parts manufacturer, but also as a wholesaler, you will have the most accurate and up-to-date data available for selling the parts and communicating everything to the market.
By the word wholesaler, of course, it's interesting also to understand what is the benefit for a wholesaler of having IDP embedded. Let us talk about wholesalers, traders. Trader receives today the data monthly, weekly. It depends on how he set up his system. And then he starts his product management process to use the TechDoc data within his infrastructure. How can this look in future like?
You will get it. You will be able to have a direct connection via the IDP interface, meaning that as soon as there are changes available, new parts or changes in existing data, you will get supplied by this, and you will get a notification. Hey, will be available. This is the delta compared to the last time, and of course. you can also only import the fractions of data, not the whole data set. So it also there, it will save you a lot of time, and you will work with the most accurate data there is in the market.
And I think it's important to say that it's not the web service, the TechDoc web service.
Exactly.
The data with IDP is on his in-house system,
Yeah.
in his database, and he can manage the data whenever he wants and whatever he wants to do with the data.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's a huge benefit, especially in speeding up product management processes on trader side. So we talked in the last couple of minutes about traders. Now let's talk about the workshops, the garages who are doing the repair job. And they are in the end the customers who have to identify the right part number and have it ready for their repair job. So what is the benefit for a workshop if we have IDP in the market?
Of course, he also has access to the latest available parts. So as soon as there's a new part supplied by our suppliers, he will get access to this as well. And of course, also the corrections and the mistakes which are in the data are also instantly solved.
So I hear many benefits at the moment, and that sounds great and amazing. But let's talk to our customers and talk a little bit about the development of IDP. It was not an idea which was born 4 weeks ago, and we are ready. I'm sure you challenged many problems during the development phase. Let's talk a little bit about how you and your team mastered the development of IDP.
Yeah. So of course, the good thing of our company is that we have a lot of expertise on all aspects. We are close to the customer, so we know the challenges a customer is facing or faces. And basically, we also have the IT knowledge. So we have the programmers and everything regarding the infrastructure is a well-known area for us. So meaning the competences are there. But of course, we also need the customer input. So after a certain period of internal testing, having a first prototype available, we are now in the phase that we are gonna work together closely with a development partner. And then we are talking about several customers to improve our system, to keep adding new features to it, and to make sure it will contain all the things a product manager and a customer needs.
Not forget to say 25 years history of experience.
Exactly.
More than that, even more than that. Yeah. And of course, that's a benefit for develop such a solution. Absolutely. So Kamil, we talked about the market today. We talked about development. Where do you see IDP in 5 years?
Of course, from our perspective, also from the customer point of view, it will be a global rollout. So it will be a tool which will be used on a global scale. So you as a product manager must be able to send the data from any location to everywhere in the world instantly. But as also mentioned before, it will be also used for other purposes. So we also would like to use this technology to supply you, for example, with the latest available reference data we have. That could be either OE data, VIO data, or that could be vehicle information itself.
So for me, I understand for now means in the next couple of years, we are changing from a world where we have data packages to an ecosystem where we deliver net changes. We have data stream between the customers, in between, from the parts manufacturer to the traders, from the trader to the workshops, from tech alliance to the industry. So this system gets connected in real time.
Exactly, and you're going to supply data content, so not a specific format. So you have to focus on your daily job is manufacturing parts, getting the data right, but not forced to export data in any kind of format.
Yeah, formats. I will touch this point later, but for now, I think there's one important part: rollout. Yeah, means the product is nearly ready. I think the rollout is in plan. How does a rollout look like? When do we start? How do we start? And when can the first customer benefit from IDP?
So at the moment, as said, we are working with the customer pilot projects. So we need this feedback to keep developing our system. But as of the beginning of 2021, we would like to roll it out to all other customers. And of course, we keep developing in a kind of agile way, improving our system. Yeah.
Beginning 2021 means soon. That's close to the rollout.
Definitely. Yeah.
That's great. Okay. So now it's time for format. Yeah. We talked about the TechTalk format, and I heard ACES, PICE, MIM all the time. And we know that our customers challenging the use of this data. It happens also that we have the teams doubled on customer side.
Exactly.
One team is focusing on TechTalk, the other team is focusing on ACES and PICE. But just to produce a format, yeah? How does this change with IDP?
Yeah. Imagine a world where you only have to focus on just one single way of data maintenance, just adding the content, adding the vehicle attributes, adding all the assets, and so on, and not having to convert this in a second or even a third industry standard. That saves you a lot of time for sure.
Oh, for sure. That means as a product manager, you just focus on the vehicle, on your parts, on the OE number, on images, on the assets. You do your daily job, and which format you like, you can decide later on and say, you press a button, produce a TechTalk format, out of our central platform, or an ACES and PICE format. That's possible through IDP.
Yeah, that would be, of course, the holy grail. And this is what we notice at working for many years together with customers, is that this is the double or sometimes the triple work what they are doing.
Absolutely. This will be a game changer for sure. So strategically, we positioned IDP not only for Europe, we positioned IDP also for customers in the rest of the world, for America and Asia Pacific. And in America, now, thinking about customers there, they just focus on ACES and PICE. They have the ACES vehicle, the VCDB, where the vehicle is explained in a year, make, model, where in TechTalk, it's the make, model, type, year, and so on. So, means if I'm a customer in the US and I'm connected through our PartCat system, for example, you manage the data on the ACES and PICE standards, and you send the data to TechTalk by IDP, and we take it on our platform and we show it up into our systems. This is the way out.
Exactly. So we have the expertise there with the teams located over in the US market and the Northern American market. So for us, it's what I said, continuously developing of our system. So that will be definitely one of the next steps after, of course, the initial phase.
So that's a development stage where you're looking at the moment with the team inside,
Definitely, So we have to listen to our customers, and this is what they are explaining to us, and this is a challenge which they face every day. So this is on our shelf to look at.
That will be for sure a revolution in the independent aftermarket, because I just have to focus on my parts data, on my vehicle data, and I don't need to care longer what kind of format I need to produce.
Or system.
Or system,
meaning IDP will be then the interface, and not having multiple systems in your company for data maintenance purposes.
Let's see. There's an exciting future coming, really, and really looking forward that the product gets rolled out. So, Kamil, thank you very much for answering my questions. With IDP, we have a solution in place where I'm sure it will be a game changer in the independent aftermarket. So let's get it done. Let's change the world. Let's change the aftermarket into a real-time aftermarket.
Perfect summary, Jürgen. Thanks for that. And to all customers, we need your support for developing this system. We need your input as always. So we are looking forward to roll it out and speak to you soon.
Thanks.